Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Open Mic with Mac. My name is Michaela Patton, and I am the founder of this podcast. This week's guest is a good friend of mine. He's an actor that you may know from his work on TV shows Hunters, Good Girls, or Grey's Anatomy. He's also been in movies such as Goosebumps, Little, and Summer of '84. It's with great pleasure that I introduce my friend Caleb Emery. Hello, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining me.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Of course. It's crazy. I think the last time I saw you was almost a year ago, right? Last September?
Yeah, I guess we were shooting. I think
Daddy
last
issues.
September was probably near the end of it. And
Yeah, that's wild.
yeah.
So how has life changed for you in this past year?
Well, this year's been nothing, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, it's different. I've been in Florida. I came back from LA just to hang with my family. Took the time to spend some time with them and enjoy this. Try to make the best out of what's going on, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just been hanging out. But other than that, Hunters came out and it was great
Yeah, it
and
was.
well received. So that was good.
Definitely. So did you stay in LA for, I guess they're in their second round of lockdown right now, right?
Yeah,
Did you stay the first round?
I was in LA until the end of April,
Okay.
I believe, the beginning of May.
Mm-hmm.
I first started because I was like, I'm just going to stay here and just try to figure it out.
Right.
And just write it out because no one knew at that time how long it was going to be.
What was happening, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I waited for a little bit and then it didn't look like anything was going to change. So I was like, maybe I should take some time and go hang out with my family and just ride it out there. Yeah.
Well, I know, so New York was the first state to really, shut everything down. And
Yeah.
I think LA was a little bit late to the game. What did that look like when we were, productions were stopping and everything was getting shut down? What was it like in LA? Everything was still open and
Yeah, everything was still going. It was I literally had an audition with producers a day before LA shut down. So this was on a Thursday, and then LA shut down the following day because we knew about it. We were New York's losing their minds.
right.
We don't know what's going on there. And then the next day, and everyone was like, well, I was sitting in an audition room with a good amount of people, and we weren't even thinking about it. So it was just normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And then the next day we were completely shut down.
Yeah, it happened so fast, I feel like. We heard about it and there were concerns about, production shutting down, but nobody thought it was actually going to happen. And then we showed up to set one day, and I think it was a Thursday as well, and we got there and nothing happened for a couple hours and they just sent all of us home. They were like, it's, we're shut down until further notice.
It's wild. I remember telling, I went to this callback and it went great. Met these showrunners, and then the next day I reached out to my agent, and this was right after they put us in a state of emergency the next day. So I reached out to my agent, my manager, and we were on a call, and I was just so did you hear back from the producers? And my manager was like, really? We're in a state of emergency now. And I was like, it didn't feel real yet. I was just yeah, well, it might last for a week and then we'll be back at it. So I don't want to lose an opportunity over it.
Well, yeah, they
and then
told
now
us
it's been
2 weeks.
how many months?
Yeah, they said 2
Yeah,
weeks.
it was a 2-week thing, and then
crazy. So
however long now.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. Well, hopefully, things over here, I don't know about over in California because, like I said, I read that there's another lockdown in place, but things are kind of opening up over here. I'm hearing word on some filming that might be happening in New York soon. So hopefully this is the end of it. I don't know.
That's what I was told. I was told Atlanta's trying, Canada's trying, LA is. I was talking to my agent yesterday, and he said that they're in the talks of starting some stuff in September. So that's a thing.
That's
So I
good,
don't
man.
know. I mean, I think everyone's trying and like we're hopeful, but I guess
Yeah.
we just gotta like see what happens and just be ready when it's time.
Yeah, definitely. And as long as there's, COVID precautions and everybody's wearing a mask, I think, it should be, well, hopefully doable. But
Yeah, I mean, you gotta just be smart, I guess.
yeah, definitely. So during quarantine, how have you managed to stay creative? I've seen you started a TikTok. You're quite
Yeah,
the TikToker now.
yeah. So when when it started, like I my roommate, he's a YouTuber, and so he had started been doing TikTok since it started. So I was like, it could be fun. I
Yeah.
liked Vine, but I never got into Vine
Oh, Vine was so good. I
before it went
loved
away.
Vine.
So Vine was good. Like I watched Vine all the time, and I think I made like 2 or 3 videos, and like nothing happened, and I was
Mm.
just like, oh, okay, I'm not cool enough for Vine. But this was like pre-acting, so
Mm.
um, but yeah, I decided I was like, I'll make a TikTok just so we make some content and just have some fun, and it did. I had a video like go viral. I guess did like over 3 million
Yeah,
views
I
in
saw
like a
that one.
day. Yeah, and so like that was cool. Um, yeah, and then I just kept doing it just for fun and just keeping creative because it's really the only way we have. Like,
Yeah.
there's no auditions. There's like not even a thought of auditions. So it's like you got to do something to like make your mind work a little bit at least.
Right. How do you come up with the ideas for these videos? Because some of them they're just so funny, Caleb. How do you what is the
I
process to that?
don't even. It's like the one that went viral was this trend where like I don't know, J Lo and like A Rod did it, where they're basically like flip the switch and then they like change outfits
Hmm.
is pretty much the concept for people that don't know. Um, and so I don't know what I was just watching TikToks and I just thought of it. I was like, my roommate's girlfriend was there, and he was there, and I was like, I think it'd be funny if like somehow they're like talking and I try to flip the switch to where I replace him, so I'm talking to the girl and he's not. And then like for whatever reason I thought it'd be funny to like have them where they were like the concept was like they're in a locker room, which doesn't make any sense. That they were in a locker room together, like in towels, and I walked in and saw them and was like, I'll flip the switch with him and then I'll be like with her.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just walked in and I said, I have this idea, would you guys want to do it? And they were like, sure. And I like pitched it and they were like, all right, let's do it. And it worked. It was funny.
Yeah, it
And all the
was.
other ones are like the same idea. It's like laying in bed or like sitting on the couch and being like, that seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
And then you do it. There's so many that I have that like I thought was a good idea and then they aren't at all. And I'm like, I can't do
Ah.
it.
I think my favorite was the one where you dressed up like Joe Exotic. That one was good.
Oh, that was a process. That was funny. It
How
was
long
like
did
right
that
after
take
we
you?
all like binge watched it. But we all binge watched Tiger King, and so
Wasn't
like
it so
that was
good?
all like the big thing. It was
Yeah.
so good, so interesting,
That
and I
was
hope
like the
they
quarantine
try to.
show.
Yeah, that was like the big show of this pandemic, I
Yeah.
guess. What a great job by Netflix by putting that out there. By
Oh
the way,
my
it was like
gosh.
such a perfect timing.
So
I don't think
entertaining.
that show would have worked as well outside of the pandemic.
Yeah, if things were normal, definitely not.
Yeah, exactly. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I just like we my roommate's girlfriend had these like blonde extensions, and I was like, we should put that in my hair and make it look like a mullet. And I was like, I got all this other like denim for whatever reason. Um, Being from the South, I guess I had just random denim clothes. And so I was like, I'll just try to like dress up as Joe Exotic and we'll just make a bunch of random videos. So we did, and it was pretty funny. They were
It,
they
it
were
was.
good.
It was very funny. So if anybody wants to watch your TikTok, what is the handle on TikTok they can find you?
I think it's the real Caleb Emery because
The real
Caleb Emery
Caleb
is already
Emery.
taken.
Gotcha. Who
So
else? How is it already taken? Who's Caleb Emery?
somebody, I guess the named there's I guess another Caleb Emery out there. I don't know.
Oh, jock in your
Yeah,
name.
beat me to it.
Yeah. So for those watching that maybe want to tune into some of your shows or movies that you've been in, where can we stream your work and support you?
Well, most recently, the show that we met on, called Hunters. It's on Amazon. It's starring Al Pacino and Logan Lerman
Mhm.
and a bunch of other great people. That's on Amazon. Um, and then I'm on a show called Good Girls that is by NBC, and I believe it's streaming on Netflix. I don't know if the third season has came out in the US on Netflix yet or not, but I know the first two are. So
Mhm.
if you want to watch that, the third season's on demand as well now. The fourth season got picked up, so we're just waiting to go back to shoot that.
Nice.
Other than that, I've done some other work on like Grey's Anatomy and some movies like Logan Lucky and Fist Fight and Goosebumps and stuff like that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, I was I was talking to my mom last night and I was telling her I was going to be talking to you today. And she said, how did you guys meet? I said, "Oh, on Hunters." And she said, "Oh, what was your favorite memory working on that show?" And I went, "Oh my gosh, I have to ask Caleb." I said, "Lunchtime." Caleb and I always used to have lunch together, and that was like the best time ever on the show, for me at
That's
least.
true.
What was your favorite, I
It was
guess,
like
memory?
it was like me, you,
Sarah,
that yeah, I
Logan,
mean it was me, you, Hunter,
and Hunter,
Sarah,
yes.
and like Logan every once in a while would join.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we would sit and have lunch. Those were good. I don't know if it's a good memory or it was just a memory that I'll never forget for sure outside of like us was learning the dance
Oh
that we
my
had to
gosh.
do. There's a dance sequence for anyone that hasn't seen the show that happens, I believe, in episode 2, or
Let
is
me
it
see.
3? Maybe it's 3.
Maybe 3.
I'm not sure.
I
2 or
forgot
3.
about that.
Yeah, that was like a whole. I mean, we had a choreographer choreograph for like 3 days, like leading up to it, and then we went down to Coney Island and we did this dance. And there's like all these people standing on the boardwalk watching us non-dancers try to dance, and so that was entertaining. Um, and then yeah, just like all the late nights we had like filming, we'd be in like Brooklyn or somewhere in New York, like
Yeah.
just spending all night on the street, sitting in tents.
Right. I liked the comic book shop too. That was a cool location. I really liked
The
that
comic
one.
book was the first time I worked, like I had a scene with Al Pacino too.
Mm. Well, that's
So
a pretty epic.
that was like a memory that I'll always remember, is just like having that scene with him, same
Yeah.
screen time, I guess. But yeah, the comic book shop was really cool. I remember, funny story, I guess. We were in there rehearsing. It was Al Pacino, me, and Logan, and all of a sudden, I think we might have been shooting it at that point, but some person from the street just like screams out like Al Pacino, like in the middle of our take. And I just remember we all just stopped and like looked and
Gotta
then
love
just
that.
like chuckled and then like looked back and then we had to like reset everything.
That happened often, I feel like, on that show. Not with just Al, but I mean everybody. It was always
Yeah, it
always
was like
something.
I guess when you're shooting a show or a movie or whatever, and you're on like locations and you're on the street, and people know, you
Mm-hmm.
know, there's people come around and they don't know, what we're doing or what the process is. So
Right.
I give fans, I guess, benefit of the doubt, but
Yeah. Especially in a big city, it's hard because there's so many, passerbys and curious
yeah,
people that aren't from, in town and they want to know what's going on. So that can be definitely challenging.
yeah, exactly. They just are like, or they heard like, Al Pacino's in there, and they're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Because how many times are people going to be in the same like street as Al Pacino, like,
Right.
and know about it? It
Yeah.
just doesn't happen a lot. So I
Yeah.
don't blame them. I'd probably
No,
do the same thing.
totally. So, for anybody watching, is there any advice that you would like to give to maybe fellow creatives or aspiring actors to kind of navigate the rest of this year and how kind of you've stayed positive? Any aspiring words?
Yeah, I mean, I would, as far as advice, especially when it comes to this year, for any actors that are still pursuing and out in LA or New York or wherever is just like, because I've had to do this too, and I talked to all my acting buddies in LA that are still there wherever they've been now, but just like stay extremely positive and like it. I know it's very difficult, like that's easier said than done, but like when you're in this situation of not knowing, like the best thing you can do is just like work on yourself and like be comfortable with who you are and be okay with that. And like then when you get back into it and we start the audition processes again and we start filming again, then you can really bring, I think, the best material that you can provide like out there. And so you won't leave anything back. So I just think like stay positive, like continue to work, like watch, you know, watch seminars, watch your favorite actors, like, and really study them. And then, so when it's your time, like you're good and you can go and just like, you know, just, we'll get through it. We're all in it together at this point. So.
Well, I love that. Yeah, that's true. With all this extra time, I think it's a good opportunity to, like you said, get comfortable with yourself, watch seminars, kind of freshen up, watch movies, even study your favorite actors, and be ready when we come back.
Yeah, exactly. Just study. Like I study my like favorites, which are like John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell, and even watching like Adam Sandler, and just seeing these guys like what they do and how they do it, and like Jonah Hill.
Oh yeah, he's great.
And these guys, I love their work so much and respect them so much. And like when I watch their movies, like especially since this quarantine started, like I really think about their choices and what they do and like and how they deliver lines, because it's a total different thing than just like reading a page and being like, okay.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
So moving on, the foundation that you chose this week, I am so excited to talk about it. It is the Actors Fund, which you can find the link in my bio. It'll be there until next Thursday. They're doing incredible work across the country, not just for actors, but for all artists and anyone that is a creative. I'm going to kind of pass the mic to you, though, so you can elaborate and kind of tell us why this means so much to you.
Yeah, when you had asked me to do the podcast and we talked about the charities, and I spent some time trying to think of like, you know, what is one that would make sense for me to want to promote, and also for the time right now that we're going through. And I thought about the Actors Fund because when this first started, I had a lot of acting friends that, you know, weren't going to make it, like, right. Or they didn't have the finances, or they were working, you know, a normal job and they got laid off, or they don't, you know, whatever happened. And so it's scary to think that like you can't pursue your dream because you just don't have a choice. And I thought of the Actors Fund and how even I read about it when I first started, because I think they sent an email out to everybody. And I was just like, it's good because it gives the financial help to people that really need it. And especially with our craft that we like to do and acting, like we need it now more than ever for a lot of people. So yeah, I just thought it was the best case for this, and for people watching that know what I do. And as an actor, I think that it's important to never compete against each other, but always try to uplift each other. And if this way, if people will donate to the Actors Fund, it gives the chance for these people to continue pursuing what they want to do.
Yes. Yeah, and I saw on their website too, it's so awesome because they don't only help in times of crisis, obviously with COVID, but they also help artists that are transitioning, maybe moving to a new city, or maybe making a shift in their career, going from being an actor to maybe a writer, whatever it may be. They're really, really great with offering the tools for housing even, and like health insurance, which is so hard as an actor or artist to get. It's not guaranteed on certain jobs, you know? And health is kind of put on the back burner sometimes when you can't afford to go to the doctor because it's so expensive.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Actors Fund, it's for people that don't know, it's not new. It's not something that just came about when COVID came and happened. It's been around for a long time. So they've been helping actors and artists and anyone do, like you said, transition or just have the resources available for what they need and providing, so it's not so difficult to navigate this industry, which on a normal case it is. It's very difficult. So
Yes, it is.
they're really great.
Yeah. So if you guys want, you can click the link in my bio, like I said, and they also have amazing like seminars, events, and you can also sign up to volunteer, which is super
Yes.
cool, and donate if you feel like you would like to.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So is there anything else about this foundation or about you that you would like to share with us that we haven't already touched on today?
Um, no, I mean, I would just to touch one last thing on the foundation. I think
Yeah.
is just like if you are an artist or you are, involved in the industry at all, and you're able to donate, like it's not a bad thing to donate. I think a lot of times people are like, yeah, but I'd rather donate to like disaster relief or something
Right.
like that. And in a sense, this is a disaster relief for artists. Like
Mm-hmm.
especially when you get thrown in this situation,
Mm-hmm.
we need it, and some people panic and they don't know what to do, and the foundation is able to provide. So I think that if you are an artist and you're able to, this is something that you should at least read into and look into, and try to help your fellow artists and thespians and everyone involved to keep pushing. But
Yes.
other than that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't. It's weird talking about yourself. So
Yeah.
if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to talk about it.
Well, just touching on the foundation as well. I think a lot of people too forget like during quarantine, everybody was watching TV shows and movies, and most artists now are out of jobs. So once you're done with those seasons or that film, we're running out of things to watch almost. Like people are like with Law and
Yeah.
Order, for example, like, well, when's the next season? Well, we can't film anything because all of us, everybody, the grips, the electrics, the actors, the PAs, we all lost our jobs. So we are essential because we provide entertainment. So it is important for, you know, us artists to get back to work so we can entertain everyone and
Yeah. I
bring
was
some
told
joy
the
to the
other
world.
day. Yeah, somebody the other day said something like, "Yeah, now there's only reruns on." And I'm like, "Well, yeah,
Right.
because what we do, we weren't able to do." And I think actors, because at first, when I think a lot of this unemployment insurance came out, I don't think actors were or gig workers in a sense were included in some of it.
No, no, they weren't.
And I remember talking about it with somebody in the industry and just being like, it doesn't make any sense because what we do is we provide entertainment for all these people that need it. Like,
Right.
not saying that, demanding that we're better than or
No,
anything like that. I don't want to put that out there, but
no, no.
we do, in a sense, provide this entertainment, and it is essential, especially when it comes to a time where you're stuck at home and all you
Right.
can do is watch TV or like watch movies.
Right.
And like, if you don't have any of those come out, like, then what are you going to do other than like work out 800 times a day?
Right.
Like,
Read a book.
so
Yeah.
it is important to remember that, like, what actors do, like we do it on a case by case scenario. We're gig workers, so when a season's done, it's done until the next one goes, or you pick up the next show, or you book the next audition. um and then when you can't film, it puts a lot of people out of work. I said to, I think, my mom, I was just like, think about how many crew members are on a set, like, and then we move back into this like post pandemic situation, and like how many crew members are they not going to allow back on set? Like how
Yeah.
much are they going to condense it? And
There's
like
150
those people,
plus. It's crazy.
yeah, there's people everywhere all the time, and it's like everyone has a job, and it's not like they're just standing there.
No,
So
everyone's essential.
yeah, so just it's a wild thing, but yeah, the foundation does help that a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it has been a pleasure talking to you. And I just want to say thank you again
Yeah,
for joining me this week. It was so good seeing you. It's been too long.
I know it's been forever. You need to get out to LA, or next time I'm in New York, we'll meet
Yes,
up
let me know. Yes.
for sure.
All right. Well, you stay safe and healthy, and I will talk to you soon.
Yes, same to you.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, I'm Caleb Emery, and this is Open Mic with Mac.